John Peet, or either one or both of you come forward, and I know that we were going to have morning tea, but afternoon tea. It just shows you how bad I'm feeling. But if we allow them to go now, they don't have to go and put more money in their car and move it. Yeah.
Shall we come back?
Eh?
Shall we come back?
Well, how long are you going to be away for? Oh, yeah, no, well, it's not going to make any difference. So, yeah. They will definitely watch it online. So for people who are concerned about my absence earlier on, because I am not well, so it's genuine, that but I will certainly, all councillors have committed to watching the submissions that they miss. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We're well aware through reading the newspapers and so forth that you've had a deluge of input from all parts of the country. Pardon?
Hurry up.
And therefore we're not going to try and repeat any of it. What we're trying to do is suggest and indeed promote a process which avoids having to be too explicit in the long-term plan, because there is so much uncertainty, indeed indeterminacy in the current situation, that to attempt to lock down a particular policy, while it may be highly desirable in terms of the requirements of the Act or whatever, is actually, in any scientific sense, completely impossible. What you may have to do is simply put some numbers down and hope they come out, or hope you can wriggle your way out of them when we discover that some of them may be wrong, some of them may be right. Okay, that's government, that's politics. But our point is that we should acknowledge the existence of unknowns, including unknown unknowns in the situation, the environment which we find ourselves, which is absolutely unique for, well, apart from Napier, 70 years ago, any Christchurch, any city here, and aim to seek a direction forward that actually gives us some wriggle room. We understand from informal quarters, because we are not lawyers, that the Local Government Act actually has some sections which allow for a degree of, shall we say, resilience in policy making. We don't know exactly what it means, but we are informed reasonably reliably that it exists. We invite you to investigate this or use it if you already know about it.
So those exceptional circumstances are what we want you to look into. That possibility, which evidently is there, but we can't find it. So if you could please look into those, because this process that we've tried to highlight is because we think that there is an issue of purpose here which is being missed. And the way we've tried to identify that alongside this question about process is that the purpose needs to be to achieve the people of Christchurch's dream, not their nightmare. And the dream was summarised very eloquently by one of the NGOs, 350.org, recently, where they said we want a stable, livable climate, renewable clean energy, enough food for everyone's needs, green jobs, governments that listen to the hearts of the people, New Zealand leading the way again, being part of the solution. We do not want the nightmare of more storms and floods and drought, pollution and waste, only enough for some people's greed, jobs tidying up the mess only, government that's only answerable to the banks, New Zealand as a reluctant follower in international policy, and then we'd be part of the problem. So that's just one voice from young people to put in front of you as identifying the purpose of this long-term plan, and we're just appealing to you to use those exceptional circumstances. I've already submitted today about the value of the NGO sector in enabling that conversation to continue, and I think it's important to note that the processes of engagement with people in the community through NGOs are quite different from the process of engagement with individual citizens. So I think it's a complementary process which really could be very fruitful for the council to develop. And I must compliment you, Leanne, and others in the council, that I think we've actually felt a greater voice in the term of this council. So more power to your elbow on that front, but it does need a bit more oomph. So that's really what we're wanting to say. Please take some way of dealing with the process to achieve this wider purpose. And I'll just pass back to John to say the particular solution that we just want to suggest.
Well, basically that the process be taken seriously that we've suggested. The purpose that we've outlined is clear, and if you'll forgive me, the long-term, not the long-term plan, but the long-term purpose and vision of Christchurch that we've had before us for some time is too wet and woolly to be very helpful. And we are asking that it actually is looked at and constructed rather more carefully with the wisdom of NGOs. I'm a member of a statutory forum which has been receiving information about what's been going on all over the place. We've had a deluge of information from government and the commercial sector and virtually nothing from the NGO sector. It's been virtually invisible. And we're asking that a major project be made available, a public space to do it, and only the City Council can do it. The City Council shouldn't drive it, but if it make it available, I think it could be incredibly useful, and that's precisely our time.
It is precisely your time, but the number of submitters who've come here to say that they want to form a partnership with the council rather than have us provide, has been overwhelming, and it's been quite heartening actually, because there really is a desire amongst communities to do things for themselves with support rather than just come along and say, this is what we want. Yeah. Good.
And respect too, and it's sort of like respect as well. It's like yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
We'd like another half an hour, please.
Thank you. I hope you don't get a parking ticket. Right.